Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another video and I'll be doing a story time with my sister on the time when I had my beautiful, precious, adorable little baby. So we're just gonna be trying to remember all the details of my labor and delivery, and I want to share this story time with you all because most people don't tell you how their labor and delivery really goes, and I'm gonna keep it funky with y'all. Like, that was the most awful experience of my life. People really are telling the truth when they say you feel like you're about to die. Like, she don't know. She's 7 months pregnant. She's about to have a baby really soon, and she'll see. Like, I was feeling like somebody was shooting me in my chest through those contractions. And like, when the contractions were over and I had that 2 or 3 minutes to spare, I was literally like knocked out sleep. And then when they came back, it was like boom, getting shot in my chest again. So we're just gonna be telling you guys about how my labor and delivery went. And yeah, make sure you guys like this video. I will be doing other story times with my family. We got some crazy stories to tell you guys. Like, the other video I want to share with you guys, the other story time, real crazy. But without further ado, let's just get right into this video. So actually it'll be what's today's date? The 27th. I had my baby. This story is so crazy because I'm doing it tomorrow. Would have been a year to the day that I'm telling this story. Like, my baby's birthday is like 4 days from now. So we just gonna try to remember all the details of how it went. But I was induced. I was supposed to be due March 3rd, but my doctor induced me on the 28th of February because she was going to be out of town. So I didn't want somebody else to deliver my baby because I had been with my OB since the beginning. So I was only comfortable with her. So I just told her, like, let's go ahead and induce me. And then I had group strep B. I think that's what it is. I had that. So I had to get antibiotics. So it was best for me to just go into the doctor and get induced anyways. So they scheduled me to be induced at 7 o'clock on February 28th. The 28th, right?
It was a Thursday. That's what I remember.
Because it's the 29th day this year. So it was the 28th of February. When I went into the doctors, they told me to be there at 7 o'clock sharp. And of course, you know, when you have a baby, you're not supposed to eat. So me and my sister, we were doing some last minute stuff the days leading up to me having my baby, like packing our hospital bags,
cleaning the
house,
getting my hair done,
getting her hair done. Y'all, I had a wig on, and about time it was time to push that baby out, I'll snatch that wig off, honey.
The wig was off by 9 o'clock. If we got to the hospital at 7, it was off by 9 before anything started.
So we was like getting prepared to do the last minute things, like fixing the baby's room up, arranging diapers, all of that good stuff. So the days leading up to it, we had a lot of stuff to do. So during the time that it was the day we were going to actually go to the hospital, because this was my birthing partner, because her dad wasn't around at that time to be able to be there for the labor. So I'm so grateful and thankful that my twin sister was able to be my birthing partner. And now in this time, I'm going to be her birthing partner. And yeah, so that's just what it was. So the day I went and got induced, I packed all of our bags, and I don't remember what we were doing earlier in that day to where about time 7 o'clock came.
I went to work.
Okay, so she said she was at work, so I don't know what the heck I was doing earlier in that day, but around 7 o'clock, I hadn't ate none that day, which was the worst thing I possibly could have done, because before I went to the hospital, and we live like 35-40 minutes away from the hospital I was going to deliver at. So we had to leave early, and when we were going out to get ready to go to the hospital, it was about 5:30ish, and we were like, let's stop at Buffalo Wild Wings and get something to eat because we were so hungry. So we got our bags packed, leaving out the house, and we were going to Buffalo Wild Wings. So we get to Buffalo Wild Wings, we get our food. We went to the store. I promise you,
we thought we were gonna have time to sit down and eat, but
yes,
it ended up being about 6:00 when we got there, so we had to get a carry out.
Yeah. Yep. Because we were going to sit down. So we had spent like $30 at the gas station, like getting snacks, cookies, chips, Slim Jims, all type of stuff. Like, because we knew we were going to be at the hospital. They told us to anticipate to be there for about 3 or 4 days. So we were getting mad snacks, like snacks, waters, juice, pop, candy, everything. So while we were on in the gas station was probably about 5 or 6 minutes away from the hospital. So while she was getting the rest of her snacks, I told her, I said, you know what? I think I should eat my food. So when I get to the hospital, if they don't let me eat, because I didn't know if they weren't just going to let me eat soon as I got into the hospital or however that was going to work. I never had a baby before. So I'm like, I'm just going to eat a few of my boneless wings. So if they don't let me eat my food, I'll be okay. At least I been and took like 2 or 3 bites of my food. So I'm like taking bites of my my chicken.
No, she was not taking bites. She was scarfing it down like a savage. If she had 12 boneless wings, she ate like 9 of them.
No,
like
I
that.
Did. No, I
yes,
did.
she did. Yes, she did.
I was eating my food. She was eating her food too while we were
driving.
I
didn't eat any of my food. I was the one driving, because we brought my car home, so I was the one driving. She was eating that food like a savage, and
because I knew if I would have went to the hospital and they didn't let me eat my food, we were gonna have a problem.
But I was convincing her that she didn't have to eat her food like that because
they were gonna let me eat.
I was under the notion that the induction would start Friday.
Right, I thought next day.
Yeah, I thought that we was just going to the hospital just to be there to,
That's what we thought. My doctor said I was getting induced the next day.
Yeah,
so when we got there,
was getting induced when we walked in.
Yeah, we was like, okay, nothing's really about to be shaken. So we get to the hospital, we check in, and we walking upstairs, and the lady's like, I'm like, can I eat my food? And she was like,
excuse me, bitch.
I'm gonna eat my food. So I'm telling my sister, like, honey, like, pass me my bag. I'm about to eat some of my wings. I'm hungry. So I already was already upset because I couldn't eat the rest of my food. When you're 9 months pregnant, you hungry. Like, even though I just ate, I was still hungry. So I'm like upset, OD upset. We get into the room and I had a really nice room. Like, my room had a big flat screen. It had a pull-out couch. It was big. It had a jacuzzi.
A refrigerator, that little jacuzzi.
Yeah, like, I don't know if...
Huge.
Yeah, like my hospital room, like, it's not like the rooms that you see on other people's videos. I was watching mad people videos on their labor and deliveries, and my room was like luxurious. I was like, okay, Blue Cross, come through for you, girl, come through. So we had a really nice room, like good view, and I'm just like cracking on my sister, like, I'm so pissed. I want to eat my wings. I should just eat a few right now. And she like, Chanel, it's okay. Like, you don't gotta eat the food. You'll be okay. You'll be able to eat it in a few
I
days.
didn't even eat mine. That Buffalo Wild Wing sat in there from Thursday to Sunday. I didn't even eat mine because I felt bad that she couldn't eat. So it was about $30 in food wasted.
That we really didn't even eat. Actually, no, Arthur
ate it.
My little brother came the next day and he ate the food because we had put it in the refrigerator. So they told me to get undressed and get into my hospital gown. And I had already like packed out my outfits of what I knew I wanted to wear like the day I went in. And so I couldn't really wear what I brought in. So I had to put on a hospital gown. They told me if I wanted to do skin to skin, I had to put on my hospital gown. So I put the hospital gown on, and the nurses and doctors are coming in and they're like, yeah, so we're just going to start an induction. And we was looking at each other like, induction? my doctor said I wasn't being induced until the very next day, like the next morning. So it was, at this time, it's probably about 9 o'clock,
8:45, 9
yeah,
o'clock.
like 8 o'clock. And they're like, we're going to start Pitocin. And I'm like, wait, excuse me, you're not going to start anything because my doctor said I'm not being induced until tomorrow. So they're like, no, we're going to call your doctor then, and we're going to just confirm that you're supposed to be being induced tonight. So they came back and they were like, yeah, well, we just talked to your doctor and you're going to be induced tonight. So I just start panicking, like, oh my goodness, like, I wasn't ready for this tonight. What the heck? So whoever the lady is that's supposed to come, and because I wasn't even dilated, I wasn't even due. Like, the last appointment at my doctor that I went to with my OB, I wasn't dilated, I wasn't effaced, and my cervix was still really, really high. Like, that baby was not ready to come out. So they had to do the Foley catheter. And when they did that, they were putting IVs in me. And I'm usually an easy poke. Like, I never had problems with. So they couldn't find my freaking vein. Like, 7 people had to come in. And they just poking me. And I'm already irritated. Like, I'm not supposed to be induced until tomorrow. I can't eat my food. What the heck? They can't find my vein. So eventually, like, the 8th or 9th person came in and they found my vein, put my IV in. I had to start an IV because of the group B strep. And that's when they did the Foley balloon. And in the beginning, when people say, like, contractions feel like real strong period cramps, I say like the first 20 or 30 minutes is when it felt like period cramps. But then after that, everything just started going downhill. After that, it just was like I was having an out-of-body experience. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see. I couldn't think straight. It was, and people, when I started telling people my delivery story, they were like, this girl is with the dramatics. Like, she is captain of the drama team because she is doing too much. And I promise y'all, some people like this video if you had a hard labor like I did. I said I would never do this again. But now a year has passed and me and my boyfriend are like, yeah, let's have another baby. Yeah, let's do it. So I am going to have another baby. I still feel like that was the worst thing I could have ever done in my whole entire life. But I will do it again. I am going to do it again. In about another year, I am going to have another baby.
Well, from my perception, it didn't look horrible. I always tell her, like, yeah, it didn't look bad. It didn't look like it was going bad with you. It looked like it went okay to me. So it didn't scare me. A lot of people told me not to watch her have the baby because I hadn't had kids at that time. And they said that it would scare me. It did not scare me at all. I thought she looked okay. I thought she was doing pretty good. But she tells me that she was dying, so I don't know. She looked okay. It looked like it was going pretty good.
She'll have a baby in a couple months and she'll see. So I was one of those people when I was coming up with my birthing plan. I wanted to do it all natural, no meds, no nothing. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it natural.
What did you have in your birthing plan?
No epidural. Just no epidural.
Oh, in my birthing plan, I pretty much just, as long as I don't die, and my baby don't die, everything else is cool.
Yeah, well, of course, you don't want to die. You don't want your baby to die.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, that's my birthing plan.
Nobody to die, and what else?
That's it.
Okay, so her birthing plan, she don't want nobody to die. Her and her little baby. Of course, they're not going to die. We have the Spirit of the Lord covering us and our beautiful mother. So,
our mom might miss me too much. Take me in, my baby, to the upper room.
Oh my goodness. So, where was I? Where'd I left off?
You were about to tell them about when the ball got rolling. And they put the Foley catheter in.
Right. They put the Foley catheter balloon in, and it started blowing up. And after a while, it started hurting. Like, it started hurting real bad. But I'm like, okay.
What was the pain like?
It was like period cramps. In the beginning, it was like period cramps. It didn't hurt that bad. It was just like period cramps. It was just like strong tightening of the muscles in the stomach. That's what it felt like. Like somebody just tightening the muscles in your stomach real good. It was real uncomfortable, but it wasn't like unbearable. Like, okay, if this what it's gonna be like, I can do this. This is not bad. But then it happened. They started getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And they come in like the nurse in the beginning, I'm not gonna say I pray she's watching, but she was a she came in like every hour, and every other nurse besides her was so helpful. They were so pleasant and sweet, except this one lady. Well, she wasn't even a lady. She was a girl, because she was young, probably younger than I was. And eventually, like, the cramps started overtaking me to where it was like I couldn't think. Like, it was just hurting so bad. And then at this point, like, we didn't watch TV because that day we were like so busy, so we just wanted to crash. So Miss Missy right here is already asleep. By this time, she got her PJs on. She pulled the pull-out couch out, and she's asleep. So only thing I can eat is ice and pops and suckers. So I'm just laying there. We got the lights off, the TV off, and I actually was watching Manifest on my laptop. But then my cramps, the contractions started getting so bad that I just closed my laptop and I just tried to lay there for a minute. And eventually I feel like I might have dozed off, but it was like the pain just started getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So probably about a couple of hours later, it was like, okay, oh shit, it's starting to hurt really bad. She already deep sleep. I can hear her snoring. Like, so she's on the sofa couch, and they got the little table thing where they bring your food and you can sit stuff on. And I had that close to me, and I just had like the ice and the suckers. And when they started getting really bad, I just was like trying to breathe. I remember I was watching videos on YouTube of ladies just saying, just breathe. Like, just if you can control your breathing, you'll do really well. You can be all natural. And so I'm just like trying to breathe, like take a deep breath in and exhale, and it wasn't working. I don't know if I'm just dramatic, but it was not working for me. It was not working at all. So I'm just trying to breathe, inhale and exhale, and not trying to think of it. I kept trying to tell myself it's mind over matter, mind over matter, mind over matter. That did not work. Everything was just overcoming me at one time. I can say I'm probably like 3 centimeters dilated at this point. I'm just guessing too, because the pain was just that awful. Like, the nurse kept coming in, and I'm like,
Nurse, I can't do it. I need the medicine.
She was like, the only way you can get the epidural is if the catheter comes out, like the balloon comes out, you dilate enough to where the balloon comes out, or it's 12 hours from the time we administer the Foley balloon, and it's probably only like 3 or 4 hours later. So I started clock watching at this point. I'm like, okay, now she got me jacked up because I need this epidural really bad. Like, who is she to tell me what she's gonna run on my insurance? I need the epidural. So she kept coming in, and I'm like trying to go to sleep, and I can't sleep because it's so bad. And at this time, I'm like waking up like I'm spontaneous combusted, and I'm like like panicking, like I'm still alive, but I can't breathe. Like, I'm just freaking out at this point. She's still knocked out, so it was like at the point where I feel like I'm being shot, and then I'm coming back to life, like it's shocking me back, like, and I'm like, okay, so it was just this one time. I'm still maybe like 3 or 4 centimeters dilated, And I'm like trying to go to sleep, but it's so uncomfortable that I like try to go to sleep, and I'm like, as I'm easing into my sleep, because it's true, like when you between those contractions, you are asleep like that. Like you just try to rest your body and your mind as much as you can between those contractions, honey, because it's no joke. Like, I hope I'm scaring her, because I'm not playing. It was that bad.
It didn't look that bad, so I'm not scared
that
because
bad
it
to
did
me.
not look that bad
To me. So it just is one moment, like I just couldn't breathe. I felt like I was about to die. I'm just,
take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
so I'm like going to sleep, and I'm like, I can't do it no more. So I start shaking the little table that was in between us. I'm like, Shaniqua. I'm about to say how loud I was. I'm like, Shaniqua. 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 And she didn't say nothing. So I started shaking the table like, Shaniqua. Shaniqua. And she was like, Bill, and by the time she jumped up, I'm just like this now, because I'm like, it's over. It's fucking over. Like, the contraction over now. I'm shaking the table. Shit, that bitch just shook the table.
Try it. Quit me if you want to. It's not a good day. Okay? Now back to that shaking the table.
I done shook the table through the contraction. That by the time she jumped up, she like, Bill, I'm literally like this, like, it's over now. Like, the contraction's over. So she like, you okay? I'm like, Shaniqua, I can't do it. I need the epidural. I need it. Like, I can't breathe. I'm like, I can't breathe. I don't know what to do. So I'm just like, oh my God, like, this cannot be life. The Miss Lady, we're gonna call her Corella. Corella was coming in and out, and I'm like, Corella, please. Corella, I need the epidural. Like, I can't do this, miss. I cannot breathe. I'm telling this lady, miss, I cannot breathe. At this point, I can't breathe. I can't even take a full breath. And I just kept telling myself, mind over matter. And to the point where it was like, sometimes through some contractions, I was able to weather through it, where I'm just like sleeping, have my eyes closed, like, like, it's nothing I can do. Like, I just have to go through the pain. So, that happens all night. I eventually went to sleep. But it was a struggle. It was like I was taking little naps here and there, like through the contractions. And that happened all night. And I eventually, probably at about, I'd say like 5 or 6 o'clock, went to sleep. And thank God, oh my goodness, thank God, at 7:30, my doctor came in. And my doctor came in, and she's like,
Oh my God, I can't breathe.
I'm like, what? We're not gonna say my doctor's real name. So I'm like, let's call her. What we gonna call my doctor?
Dr. Popsicle.
Dr. Popsicle. I'm like, Dr. Popsicle, I can't breathe. She like, okay, I'm gonna check you. So she checked me, and how dilated was I?
Like 5.
I was like 5.
The catheter was
out. My catheter was out, and she like, okay, why is the catheter still in? Like, she's way dilated, and she's saying she can't breathe. Give my girl some oxygen. So they gave me an oxygen mask, and I instantly could start breathing again. So I was not ODing. Like, I could not breathe. She instantly was like, okay, no, get my patient some oxygen. So they put the oxygen on me, and I can start to breathe. And I'm like, doctor, I need the epidural. Like, I can't do this. So she's laughing like, okay. She like, look, go get the anesthesiologist, because she's saying she wants epidural now. So I literally feel like my doctor came in and saved my life. Like, it was so bad that soon as she came in, within 10 minutes, she checked me. They getting the catheter out. the anesthesiologist is on their way and I have some oxygen. Like, because Miss Corella was not doing anything. Like, she didn't want to do anything for me. So my doctor, kudos to Miss Popsicle, came in and saved the day. So I got the oxygen and anesthesiologist is on their way. So by that time, they checked me. Anesthesiologist came in. You know, I was a little frightened to get it because I hear people say they do have back pain after. And I can say I have had back pain since getting epidurals. Like, really, really, really bad back pain.
How long did it take them to do it? Like, what did they do?
They made you go out, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So when the anesthesiologist comes in, they make everybody leave out. Only people that was in the room still was just me and my sister. So they made her leave out, and it probably took about...
Not even 5 minutes. Maybe 5.
Because I don't really know. I was still dazed and confused.
No more than 5.
So they did that, and they tell you with the little button you can administer it, I think, every 30 minutes, they were saying. At the end, I was just pressing it like this. I'm going ham with the button, just pressing it. So they administered that, and it's probably about 8 or 9 o'clock. And at this time, I'm actually able to go to sleep. Like, the epidural was life. Like, that's like dying and going to heaven. Whatever heaven feels like is what epidural is. It was amazing. I was able to go to sleep. I couldn't feel my legs. I think I peed on myself and I didn't know. My nurses from the daytime were amazing. So I had in total about 15 nurses. And at the end, me and my sister, we did give them $5 Starbucks cards. We gave them some goodie bags and cards. So, except for Corella. We didn't give Corella anything. So, my nurses during the daytime when Corella left were amazing. All of them were so sweet, and
everybody was pretty good up.
Yeah,
after
except
her.
Corella. Everybody was amazing. Like, loved them. They were beautiful, amazing staff. Except for Corella. Yeah, you get a special shout out, girl, because you were not it. So, I can't feel my legs. Like, the epidural is life. I took a nap. By the time I woke up, my brother, I think my 2 brothers were in the room, and then my sister was still there. So, that day, she had to leave and go to work.
No,
right?
I never left.
Oh, see, that's why you got to chime in, because I don't really remember.
I never left.
By that time,
I think I hadn't even changed my clothes. I hadn't left.
By that time, it's morning time. I was able to take a nap. I don't think we ate breakfast, did we? We didn't realize
they had like a family lounge. It had
the muffins and stuff.
Bagels.
But we didn't realize that at the hospital they give you breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks that you can order through the room service. We didn't realize that until later that day for lunchtime. No,
we didn't order lunch. We didn't realize it until we ordered the celebration dinners.
No, me and Dev was gonna order something that morning, but it was too late. So we might have noticed that next day.
I had bagels and yogurt from the family lounge.
Yeah, I didn't have anything.
I guess the parents and births and partners, you get to go in there and eat stuff. So cereal, stuff like that.
So I, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, had
nothing.
Ice chips, and so I was able to take a nap. I only was able to eat beautiful, good old ice chips and suckers. So I wake up from my nap, and they're still checking me, and I'm
stayed at 5 for a very long time. Yeah, pretty much the entire day.
Yeah. So I was at 5. I stayed at 5 for the longest. I do not remember ever moving from 5. So they up in my, what is this stuff called?
Pitocin.
What's the other stuff called?
No, that was it. The Pitocin, because I think it would go up to like a certain number.
No, I thought it was called the,
No. It was Pitocin.
Okay, yeah. Well, they kept upping my Pitocin, like every hour it was going up. And we can see my contractions. Like I told my sister how to read the little monitor because I was watching so many YouTube videos that I knew how to read that little monitor that showed when you were having contractions. So she's like, oh, you're having a big contraction. Can you feel it? I'm like, no, I don't feel a thing, honey. I'm great. Like, I'm lovely. So we just chopping it up. Families coming in and out. We're not doing really much of nothing. Afternoons here, and they tell me that my kid is sunny side up, so I have to
use
the peanut ball. And that's when it started going downhill a little more. The peanut ball put the baby. Oh, now I'm missing a detail. When my water broke, I had so much water. Remember I told you guys in my video I had all that excess amniotic fluid that when my water broke, it broke on like one side. So my stomach was like lopsided. Like some of the water broke on my right side, but not on my left side. So when I was laying on my side, the baby started resting herself on my pelvic bone. When I tell you that was the worst pain, it was worse than the contractions. Like at that point, I just wanted to die. Like, so I started complaining more to my doctor. I'm like, oh my God, like what the hell is going on? The freaking, is the epidural gone? Like, it's not working no more. And they were like, no, your baby's resting on your side. So I was doing a little peanut ball and it started irritating me, so I stopped using it. And that's when she started resting on my left side of my pelvis, and it started hurting so bad that they had to come administer a higher dosage of medicine because it stopped working for my waist. From my waist below, it stopped working. It was just awful. Like, it just, the medicine stopped working. So I told my doctor, and my doctor called the anesthesiologist back in, and they were asking me, like, on a level of 1 to 10, how's the pain? I was like a 30. Like, I was crying. At this point, even through the contractions, I was like, I wanted to cry, but I didn't cry. So I was crying. At this point, I was crying. Like, so my aunt is in the room, my sister, my cousin, my mom, and it's just chaotic. It's just too much going on at this point. Everybody's talking. My aunt's telling me to stop pressing the epidural button because at this point I'm just pressing. I'm like, it's not working no more. I refuse to start pushing this baby out, and it's not working. So I'm just like crying, telling my doctor like medicine's not working no more. So they were like, only way we can give you some more medicine, but only way that pain is gonna stop is if you push the baby out. So I'm still at like 5. They're still up in the Pitocin, and they gave me some more medicine and it wasn't working. So I'm just like in so much pain. So at this point, they told me I'm probably at 6 now, and they told me that we can start doing the practice pushing, and they're telling me.
I think you didn't start practice pushing till you was at like 8, because the practice pushes came, like the real labor came minutes after.
Okay, right.
So I would say the practice pushing came when you was probably 8 or 9.
Yeah, probably 9, right?
Yeah.
So,
but that came out of nowhere because you was at 5 all day, and then they checked you, and it was like, okay, it's time. So it came out of nowhere.
Okay. So that whole day, nothing really happened. Like, my family had came, but everything was so hazy to me because I was in so much pain that I can't remember most of the details. And like, we didn't turn on the TV and stuff like that. We didn't really do much of anything. So it's not like we just skipping a whole bunch of useful information.
We were just doing nothing.
Doing a bunch of nothing. I'm sure you guys can hear the crying little baby now. But we weren't doing much of anything. So they kept checking, kept upping the Pitocin. I just was laying in the bed trying to nap, getting ready for when it's time to push. And like she said, when I was about 9 centimeters is when they told me we were going to start the practice pushing. And so we like doing the practice pushing. And I remember from watching the YouTube videos that people were saying to push with your stomach and not with your head, if that makes sense. And I was doing it all wrong because I feel like I was bursting blood vessels in my freaking head. Like, even like the weeks afterwards, I was having really bad headaches and I couldn't laugh or cough without my head starting to hurt really, really bad. So a tip from your girl, push with the stomach, not with the head. Like, when you're doing like, look, push with the stomach and not like, look. All right, look. Like this.
Push like that.
Yeah. Okay, so they were telling me to push and I'm like, I'm not pushing right because it's hurting. And they're like, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know who the heck can go to 10 holding their breath pushing like that. I was stopping at like 8 or 7 because I couldn't breathe. I was just big and I couldn't breathe. So I'm just like, oh my God, like it's hurting so bad. Like I don't know what to do. And they're like, push like you have a bowel movement. And I was like, but I do got a boo-boo because I ate that Buffalo Wild Wings. And they were like, okay, yes, just do it like you're having a bowel movement. Like, just do it. I'm like, just do it. And they were like, yeah, like, do it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I started doing the deuce. I did it. And that's when they was like, okay, you need to stop because you about to start having your baby. So
I think the practice pushes are to basically like crown the baby because the practice pushing, I was seeing the baby head, but once that head was really coming out, that's when they were like, okay, stop, wait for the doctor. So
yeah,
even though they called it practice pushing, I think it was still like, it was literally the actual pushing. It was the real deal.
Yeah. And they were telling me like, just keep pushing, keep going. We're going to keep doing it. And I was like, how long does it usually take people with practice pushes? They were like, most first time moms, it takes about an hour. And at this point, I'm so over it. I'm so over it that I said, you know what? These next 2 pushes, I'm getting this baby out. And when they told me, do it like I'm having a bowel movement, and it normally takes first time moms an hour, I said, oh no, honey, this is done. We're done with this. I started pushing like my life depended on it. I started that baby out, as my boyfriend would say, that baby out. And that's exactly what I did. I started pooping. I did that when the baby was crowning, right?
No, she was coming out.
Oh, well.
And they was just, dabbing, wiping in that stuff like it was no problem. And
well, that was none of my business, okay?
It was stinking and...
That's none of my business. That's not my business. That was Skylar's business. So, the first push, I started pushing. They were like, good. And then at the second one, they were just like, okay, stop it. Stop. And I'm like, what? Like, I can't stop. That's when the angry black woman came back out.
It was like the practice pushing, and when I was watching it, I'm like, this not practice, this the real deal. No, y'all. When they told her to stop, I didn't even know the ceiling light. It had a light in the ceiling that came down. Then it was like, okay, this the real deal, because they told her to stop, and I guess they called the doctor. When I say about 15 people came running in, the lights started coming out the ceiling, and I was like, how fast
moving for you? Because it was going in slow motion.
It started going real fast, because I was like, what the is going on? I thought the practice pushing was the real deal.
No.
But when everybody came in
and they broke the table.
Yeah, and they broke the ass part off the table and the lights started coming down, I was like, oh my God.
See, no.
She about to have a baby.
No. everything was moving in slow motion. They always talk about me at this point because when they was saying, okay, stop pushing, I'm like, I can't. I start screaming my doctor's name, like, what was
Dr.
he called?
Popsicle!
Dr. Popsicle! I'm like screaming my doctor's name, and I'm like thinking in my head, where the is this lady? Like, I'm seeing everything going in slow motion, like, like the light, they doing the light, they bringing the light out, they breaking the table down. Then my doctor eventually walking down, I'm screaming her name, Dr. Popsicle! Help me! And she walking in, she's dead ass laughing.
The doctor
She was laughing at me like, I'm right here. She like, I see her. I'm like looking at her every move. I'm like, one eye's pointing at the ceiling, and one eye's looking at Dr. Popsicle. Both the eyes gotta focus on what's going on. So I'm seeing them moving real slow out this one left eye. And then my right eye looking at Dr. Popsicle moving real slow. They putting on her little thing. They like helping her put her suit on, and she putting her gloves on, and she putting it on ever so slowly, taking her slow time, and she putting
and Chanel was still pushing the entire time.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't. I'm doing it like I can't wait. Oh, Dr. Popsicle! And they like putting a little baggy thing on the bottom of the broke down table. So only thing that's left of the table is like the back part, even your booty like hanging off the edge, and you got your legs propped up. And what part was we on?
The part where they were putting the baggie under the table.
Yeah, so they like doing all this stuff. They broke the table. They, like you said, broke the ass part off the table. And I'm just like, I can't. Like, I can't hold it. My doctor like, just wait. I'm like, I can't. Dr. Popsicle! So I'm trying to hold this baby in as best I can. But when they said a ring of fire, oh, they freaking mean it. So I'm just like feeling that big old chunk of stuff on my stuff, and stuff just not sitting right with me. Then I'm just like, yo, it's a wrap with this. It
was to the point where once the doctor got her gloves on, she